Hello, this is Lady Rose, and I'm back again with another fresh perspective. Today, I want to talk about borrowing and lending from friends or foes. Um, let's think about it. Is it a good practice or not? Some people would say, I would never, ever, ever, ever lend money to anybody. And other times people say, oh, I'll only lend money to my friends. But you have to take very careful consideration when you're lending money and to who you're lending money to. Someone asked me, well, what's the difference? The difference is, let's say I'm borrowing, and sometimes you should just give the money. Although because you know that a person may not have it to give back or won't give it back. So this is what I do. If someone say, oh, let me borrow $25, and I already know that they're most likely are not going to give that $25 back, I will go ahead and give them that $25 with myself knowing that they're not going to give you the money back. So whenever they come back, or most likely they will not come back because they know they owe you the money. So my first initial thing to just give that to the person without them knowing I'm giving it to them, because they're saying they're borrowing the money. And that keeps me out of the clutches of people who want to say that they're borrowing, but actually they are not. They just want to have the money. So keep that in mind. I think it has helped me a lot of times. I just give the money, and I've seen situations where I know they wanted to. They just wanted to ask me for another $20, but they realized and they remembered that they still owe me the 25, and so that gets me off the hook for a long time. Second, it's a difference between borrowing and giving. So when a person say, can you give me some money? Give me $50 for doing whatever they want to do. You didn't decide if you want to give them that $50. But let me ask you this. Do you ask them, well, what do you need the $50 for? What do you want the $50 for? They could say, oh, I just want to go out on a date, or I want to go down and get me some sushi. It's up to you if you want to give the person the money, because now you're giving the money without no expectation of them receiving the money, or you receiving the money back. So keep that in mind. But when the person say, let me borrow the money, and if you feel certain or feel really good that the person would give you the money back, then to me it doesn't matter, because you're going to give me, let's say it doesn't matter as much. Of course, I don't want you to take the money and do something illegal with it. But in good conscience, if you're going to use that money for whatever you feel like you need it for, and you're going to give it back to me next Friday like you say you are, I don't even have to ask what you're using the money for. But if you ask me to give you money, oh yeah, that's a different thing. Totally different thing. So keep those two things in mind. And now let's go on to borrowing for friends. People say, I never want to mix friendship with money, because that can be really bad. And it can be if you don't know how to handle it, and the person don't know how to handle it, because we all have different values. If your value in regards to lending and borrowing money does not match up with whomever value it is to lend or borrow money, you can get yourself in a predicament and ruin a relationship over money. So keep these things in mind. Is the money worth breaking a relationship? Usually not. Usually not. So let's not even think about lending money if it's going to destroy a relationship, because you want to keep your relationship safe, secure, loving, and in a good place. And if money's going to destroy that, just don't even go there. So that's my thoughts on lending and borrowing money. And one other thing. Let me tell you something that happened. This is a real true story. Person I know and lend their friend, I think it was like $100. And the friend came to him and said, I'll promise you I will give this money back to you next Friday. Well, the guy went on and lended the money, thinking, okay, he may give that back. And so he took a chance and gave the guy the borrower $100 with the promise in hand that he's going to receive his $100 back because he put off a bill for this guy, right? Well, lo and behold, the next week come, and guess what? The borrower get killed in a motorcycle accident before Friday came. So he was unable to actually give the money back. Well, the lender was talking to me. He said, it just bothered him because he would never get that $100 back. And he asked me, he said, do you think I should ask the family members for that $100? What do you think? Well, I think not. Look at it. It was a good gesture that he was able to give to his friend before he died. But no, he bothered with that. He was just played with that $100 not coming back. Even in the funeral, he said he was sitting there thinking, I will never get my $100 back. Now, what kind of friend is that? So when borrowing and lending, again, to be very careful. Safeguard your relationship. Second thing that I talk about every time is take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself, your mind, your spirit, your body. Your body speaks to you. Listen to your body and take care of it. When you're tired, go to sleep. When you're hungry, eat. When you need exercise, do some exercise. Take care of yourself. And this is my fresh perspectives for this time. If you like it, hit like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Lady Rose. You have a good evening.